What's up, everybody? You know who it is, Jamel Lamar. Welcome to the Rendezvous Suite, the very first Rendezvous Suite panel. So today is a special day, really special. I'm joined today by a couple of my dearest friends who are professional and intelligent, and probably a few characters too. And today we're going to be talking about a topic that's been really, 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 really fire on social media. Are women accountable? All right. Well, but before we get into that, let me introduce everybody. So first, I'm gonna go to my right. We're talking about a young lady from Brooklyn, New York. So she that's already dear to my heart. Also in the profession of education, my homegirl Saya. What up, gal? What's going on? That's to my left. Now, I don't have too many friends I can call historians, but, and this is probably the only friend I actually can call a historian because he's actually a historian, but my guy Jose, who specializes in American, Asian, and European history. What up, Jose?
What's up, man? Thanks.
Okay, now, the next lady is very special because not only do she know her shit, she's actually my blood cousin. And she rep Belize. So we gonna throw the flag every time. My cousin Charlotte. What up, girl? The young other nut next to her.
Wow.
Is
Damn,
the
you know
is,
what? You better edit that shit out.
Hold on, I ain't editing not a damn thing. This is Rendezvous Suite. Safe space for craziness. But that's the other cousin. But she's one of the cousins that you could tell we bounce off, our crazy just bounce off each other left and right. This is my cousin Tiffany. She was an accountant, so she good with counting that money. On top of that, merchandising is on point, man. She made me a Dallas Cowboy cup. Every time we win a game, I take a sip. So, Tiffany was good, baby.
Hey.
Now, now this last gentleman. When I mean, see, this guy right here taught me how to hang around millionaires. You know, nobody can never teach you that. So what he did is he got a brother Drip with his clothing line, Loyalty and Heart, and threw me around actually a bunch of millionaires. I'm talking about entrepreneur. I'm talking about strategic businessman. I'm tired of talking. My man, my guy, Khalil. What's going on, brother?
My G, how's it going, man?
All right. So I know a lot of people waiting on these
Thank you
answers.
for having me, brother. It's exciting.
Listen, man. I'm interested in all of your perspectives on this topic. Last year, a African American female psychologist went on social media and said that her women clients were dropping out or they were stepping away from their sessions with her because they had a tendency to not be accountable for their doing in either their personal lives or their relationships. So I'm gonna come out straight with it. Are women accountable? Saya, what's your word on it?
The fact that I knew. I think some women are. It takes a lot. You're not taught that if somebody. That's how we were raised. I also believe that are around people or with someone that forces you to be accountable.
Hmm.
I think that makes you approach things.
Oh, sorry.
Can you hear me now? I'm sorry. This is just anyway.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Do I have to say it again? Okay. Okay. I said I believe some women are able to accept accountability, but we are also taught not to. We are taught to go back and forth. We're taught that if somebody does something to us, we are to do it to them. And I believe that's the reason why a lot of marriages in the African American and Hispanic community don't last.
Mm.
But I also believe that if you are around people and with someone who forces you to be accountable, it makes you a better person.
Jose, what's your word on that, brother?
I definitely agree with a large portion of that. You know, they're not taught to. And also, most men don't even hold women accountable usually. They're usually told, just say yes, nod your head whenever you get into a fight or an argument. So they're not held accountable. And your children also see that when they grow up too. You know, even when I grew up, I saw my parents do the same thing. Now they're divorced. So you don't really hold women accountable. They're also not taught to be accountable. Who teaches them? They got to learn themselves. So when they become mature, they learn to be accountable or they don't. So that's just left up to them. Nobody really teaches them that.
Charla, pass it on to you.
Yes. Well, to piggyback, it's so true. Females wasn't taught this. Usually men, but I feel like we need to break the cycle. Let's put it like that. Everybody needs to be accountable for their actions and we need to move forward. We're in a new life now. We need to get it together. That's just how I feel.
Khalil.
Hey, you skipped the other cousin.
But I mean, I'm going back and forth. You know what I mean? Like I'm giving the ladies their word and giving the gentlemen. So I'm trying to be even. I'm being fair.
I want to take a broader scope of it, right? So one, we're all educated adults here. When I say women, I obviously don't know every woman in the world, right? So this is an accepted generalization, right? So as a whole, Western women in this country can't even spell accountability. It's so bad, right?
Mhm.
And you touched on it beautifully. No one's held women accountable as we have moved on in this faux feminist society that we live in. It is now to the point where just like TikTok is raising your children, TikTok's also telling your wife how to be a wife, okay? And so the lack of accountability is a societal issue. It is not, you might be accountable, you might be accountable, you might be accountable, and the 17 women that I'm dating might be accountable, but that's a small portion. Joke, it's 1.7. No, I'm just joking. But that's a small portion, right? Whenever I talk about a specific group, the irony is I don't actually know people because I don't surround myself with people like that, right? But if you just look at the actions of you don't even have to go into like the lowest of the low, whatever you think that is, and these videos of just people have no home training. You can look at what the celebrities are doing. You can look at women who are going to jail with the increasing population because no one told them that there are repercussions for your actions, right? They are literally wild in the street. And I'm talking about from Karen to Tatalicious. They're all don't understand why they're being arrested. So I'll stop there.
Tiff, I gotta say the best for last. That's a real reason I went last with you, girl. You know.
I agree. There are some women that not take accountability.
Cat.
But there are some, right? You just said like
No,
be us, right?
I said women.
No,
Yeah.
some that do. You know what? Stop. Your time is up.
Dude, some is a minority
I just want to
percentage.
go. I just want to go a little further.
Okay, I'm sorry for
right?
cutting you off.
So yeah, we weren't taught to take accountability, but we were also taught to just serve, right? So if we're taught to just serve and do this and do as you're told, what are we really being taken account? What are we taking accountability for? Like how do we know that certain things are wrong, or like there's a breaking point, right? The marriage, right? All right, your husband, he goes out, he does what he does. You take that. He's paying the bills. He's taking care of his kids. You take whatever dirt he's doing, right? Then it's like we're also human, right? So we have breaking points. If something happened, burn in bed, whatever, how do you expect somebody to take accountability for something that they were kind of forced into doing?
So that's an excellent example of two things that we talked about here, and that shows the dichotomy of Western women.
Mhm.
First, what you said, Jose, about it's the man's responsibility.
Mhm.
So no matter how bad I break women down, the last thing I will say is the man's fault.
Mhm.
Right? Just to give you a secret. I don't tell them to say that up front. I just say it at the end, right? But at the end of the day, are we cursing on the show?
Oh yes, yes,
Yeah.
sir. No, uncensored.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm able to do both. Okay. You know, it's bitch ass dudes
Mhm.
that think with their eyes and their wieners
Mhm.
that don't let women be accountable, right? Like women who have no personality but are
The
drop dead
simps.
gorgeous. It's not because they're drop dead gorgeous. It's because the last 17 dates they went on, the dude was like, yeah, oh, that's funny, right? And now you meet a guy like me, it's like, cool, you're gorgeous. That's me since 13. Like,
Yeah.
what else do you have?
No.
And
What else can
then
you offer?
she's like stuck, right? So it's not her fault. It's the previous men. So I'll give you that. I think when you, first of all, your example threw me off a little bit because I don't think accountability falls in that example. Because accountability is like, I hate to use the single thing because there's nothing wrong with being single, but according to the internet, you know, I've been single for 10 years and, you know, I date guys, but, you know, it never goes past the second date. And then the accountability falls in, did you look in the mirror? Right? So that's what we're talking about. So when you're talking about women uh, providing their wifely duties to a man, I don't see where accountability falls in that. So if you, just explain. I'm not challenging it. I'm just saying I was confused.
Yeah, I'd also like to touch up because I also think that it's kind of talking about a different entire thing.
Mhm.
You know, because what we were bringing up, especially, was about, you know, especially post feminism, right? You know, women have gotten a lot more responsibilities and everything
Mhm.
getting into society, but before then, before feminism has gone to what it has today, um, whatever a woman did was her man's responsibility.
Hmm.
So if a woman messed up, the man is responsible for whatever she did, right? That's how it is. But now today, women have their own responsibilities. They have their own careers. They have their own goals. But there still seems to be that kind of mismatch going on that women don't take accountability, right? Because they're not even used to it. They're still used to that kind of previous mentality of, well, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's someone else's.
Well,
You know,
let me.
even, yeah, let me just finish this real
Go ahead,
quick.
I'm sorry.
Women used to not be able to get credit cards.
Mhm.
So that doesn't mean women didn't spend money. They were used to be in charge of all the finances in the house.
Mhm.
So when they racked up a debt, who paid it?
The man.
The husband.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So, what were we?
No, but what I'm gonna to kind of transition a little bit, and I'm gonna let Tiffany take this one. Do you think that modern women are more entitled in today's society?
I think so. And that's hugely because of social media,
Yeah.
in my opinion,
Big.
because you see all these women with just looks and nothing
BBLs.
else.
Bodies.
Yeah.
That's it.
And they're on a vacation every week or on getting the hottest bags, the newest things. So
And getting shitted on in Dubai.
Right.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah, and
we
also,
not going there.
Right.
Okay, I said vacation.
Yeah,
We all have to work for our money.
Yeah.
Fine.
and
But
al-
yeah,
yeah.
I definitely think that gives like, you know, the regular woman like, oh my gosh, how can this one have all of this and I got to go out and work 40 hours, you know? So I definitely think that
But where does the entitlement come? I know
Because
where it comes
it's
from, but I
like-
want to see the click.
because it's like I see this person, I could probably think, you know, she's not even all that. Like I
Mhm.
look better, right?
in all
Why
hon-
can't that be me?
Yes, you
Yeah.
do, girl.
You know?
I don't know who the other girl is, but yes.
that
Absolutely.
response
Love it.
is actually what I think is very common,
Mhm.
right? And I sort of agree on the internet standpoint,
Mhm.
right? And I will say it's not just pretty girls online. There are like threes that go online and people will comment you know, queen, slay, you're the best, oh, beautiful. And it's just like, you look like shit. But, you know, online,
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
the simps come out. When you're online, the simps come out. You know, the men who just want to say whatever nice about a woman because they think they're going to get something. Right. And then you also have other women who, well, in their private time may demean that woman. You know, online, she's going to say, you're great.
Right.
You know, but then in person, it's just, you know. Okay,
Right.
You know,
right.
so,
Exactly.
and the internet does that a lot, you know, especially with OnlyFans now. It's like, you know, a lot of people making money. And you see people on there, they're making like bank. And it's like, you paid for that?
And this is where I go back to the original point that is the man's fault at the end of the day. And I'm telling you, you guys will never hear it on this show, but I destroy women in this country. Western women are so far gone. But at the end of the day, it's there because there's some dude, there's some simp logging on. And you know why? Because of the I don't know, the differential between how women are put on pedestals, even if you're a 3, and then they become delusional, which is my favorite synonym for women. That's how bad I talk about women, right? But it's the simp. It's the simp that puts them there. Because how are you a 3? And by the way, there's data that shows online dating, right? Even the worst looking dude, even the worst looking female is getting 10 times more hits than a guy. 10 times, what is the number? Per day, she's getting more hits than a average, I don't, rate men. Men don't even get rated. We don't use that system, but just say blue collar, normal looking guy that makes above average, right? So average salary in this country is like 42,000, right? So let's say the guy's making 60 grand, blue collar, just normal guy. Literally, the 3 female gets more activity in a day than he will get in a month. And she looks hideous. But this is where we are, right? And so someone is telling that guy who has half of what he has that he needs to work harder to get her, who has nothing. That's where the simps are ruining it. They're pissed in a dating pool. But anyway, we'll stop
That's
there.
also because insecurity sells.
1,000%.
Insecurity sells.
1,000%.
You know?
Why would I pay attention to the person that has a good head on their shoulders when I can pay attention to the one that I can easily manipulate?
But that easy manipulation was like 8 years ago. Now, the delusion of themselves. No, I'm not saying they can't manipulate them. But what I'm saying is after 8 years of being a 3 and guys giving you attention, you forget that you're being manipulated. And now you're talking to guys that you're not even in their league. Like they need to work for you and then wondering at a certain age when you don't have a man, you're wondering why. It's because you were manipulated. You were ran through. The dudes didn't even want you. And then the guy that actually cared about you, he found a girl who's smart enough to marry him.
Yeah,
right. So there's just so many layers of
that you're gonna be receiving every month.
But so to come full circle, the not being accountable comes in that girl that I just described is as telling her friends, "Oh, guys just don't know what they want," and that is the definition of being unaccountable, right? She's not saying, "Oh man, I wasted my years." Johnny really wanted me. I should have went with him. She's not saying that. She's like, "Oh, I'm tired of these guys. They don't know what they want. They're not even worth my time. I'm not dating anymore." Yeah, after 8 years of extra, I like that. Yes.
Wear and tear is perfect.
So that's where the unaccountability comes in.
Yeah. Let me ask this, and I'm gonna bring this to you, Charla. Okay. Do you think the entitlement has prevented women from holding themselves and other women accountable?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm in a different league, so I can't really I don't know. What I see, I see. I'm on his side. I ain't gonna lie.
Just speak what's
Whatever
in your mind.
He said is like really what I wanted to say. Like inside, like I don't be wanting to like really put women down, but
Well, I'll give an example.
So I'm
Now,
sorry.
I just wanna
I'm sorry.
say-
I got it. Okay, you go first.
Okay, I just want to say, in all honesty, I don't think it's putting women down.
I was going to say
Right?
the same thing.
Because holding women accountable is the same way you should hold men accountable,
That's not putting
Mhm.
them to
right?
down.
Because when you're accountable, you become a better person.
Yeah.
You become more capable,
Yeah.
right? And if women are unable to do that, they're always going to be a step behind the men,
Yeah.
right? But then again, with simps aren't really held accountable either.
Right.
So,
exactly.
you know, it's like a weak cycle, right? You have unaccountable women who are entitled by these simps, and these simps are usually losers. So they're not really contributing to society, and they're just it's a constant cycle going on with weak men and unaccountable weak women is how I'll call
Leads
it.
to a weak
You know,
society.
Weak
is.
society, right?
Absolutely.
And you know, it's kind of the fall of the West at this point. You know, we gave all these rights to women, and then you know, women finally at that level that they have the same responsibilities as men, right? But we're not holding them to the same level of accountability as we do the men. When a man fucks up, we tell him, I was on you. Do better next time. When a woman fucks up, it's like the world sucks. It's the
Yeah.
patriarchy. You know, it's not
your
on
fault.
you. It's not your
Yeah.
fault. You know, slay queen. Try again next time. You
He didn't know what
it's
he
got that
didn't know what he
GoFundMe
had.
start an OnlyFans. You know, so you can get all that support. You know, but you know, in the end of the day, you didn't change anything.
Right.
So when you start your next endeavor, you still have the same failure traits that made you fail the first time.
Mm.
I love that. And I have nothing to add. That's perfect.
Yeah,
I just want to step back to, and it was so slight, but I just want to address it, especially for the conversation going forward. It's not negative,
I know.
It's fact,
It's just like
right? Because, and this is the problem, and this is what I would call like the ugly stepchild of unaccountability, is misdefining, whatever that word is, mislabeling basic things leads, you're going to complete tangent on conversation. So if I say your shoes are dirty, that's not negative. Your shoes are dirty. That's a fact,
Yep.
right? And so now you get in the comments when you're talking on social media, oh, that was whatever, irresponsible, or some picture of a woman doing something with a child, right, twerking with a child, and then they say, oh, that you're being negative, or you're whatever all those sayings are. It's not. You're stating a fact. Look,
It's true.
facts are not negative or positive. they are what they are.
And
So I just want to address
yeah,
that.
and
I'm
how-
not negative. I just
yeah.
speak facts.
Well, I give a little bit of example. So this is something me personally that's kind of bothered me, and I hate to put this young lady on Front Street like this, but I want to say her name correctly, but Christian is
Gosh.
like that situation,
Oh, jeez.
like her and Blueface, that situation, like
I'm.
and this is
Long
not
gone.
to put her on Front Street or to down her in any way, but at the same time, it's like if your shit stinks, should we not tell you so you can do better, or should we just try to give you some kind of encouragement or a soft landing so you don't break? Or it's like with that, I mean, her story is loud in front of social media, so everybody has an input. But then
Loud
when
is the
everybody,
word.
But she's not a baby. She's grown.
Exactly.
She's
Exactly.
a grown woman.
She's
Like,
Yep.
grown.
she's
She's a
grown.
mother.
She's
Mhm.
grown. And I be hating,
Absolutely
like, when I
not.
be seeing stuff with her, it's like everybody be like, sweetie, if you, like, how can I
speak
say
it,
this
speak on it.
nicely? It's like she shouldn't never had a baby. That part right there was irresponsible. She wasn't ready. You can tell. And it's like, now it's like she's going into destruction because now you have a baby. You have another life here. And it's bad. Like, she made herself look really bad out here. And he made her look worse. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The situation is terrible. It looks disgusting. And all these little girls is following it. And it's bad. It's really bad. It's bad.
Feel more bad for the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Definitely.
'cause,
Go to the victim.
Nobody gonna sit there and want to raise a grown woman. She's a grown woman. Nobody's trying to raise no grown woman. I'm sorry.
And
She
you
needs to
see
get it
that
together.
very often. It's, since I was young, right, I've always been told, nobody wants to raise a man child, right? But do people tell women that?
Absolutely, absolutely
Like,
not.
I see many women,
You don't-
and we call
Remember,
it
I'm talking
parents.
about generalizations.
Yeah, you can generalizations.
All my sisters were
But
raised
then they're
like that.
delusional.
mainly
so a
mainly
lot of them
Western
are
women
delusional.
specifically. But you see very often, it's one of the funniest videos on the internet when you see a grown-ass woman making a fool of herself in public because she felt slighted or something, she's throwing a tantrum, right? And it could be either a Karen, right? Or just a grown woman who starts bitching in public. And everybody's just pulling out the phone, laughing at her, right? And she is taking it as an attack, which it is, because she made a fool of herself. But when she goes home that day, what is she thinking?
Feel like shit.
Absolutely not.
If she felt
She's thinking
like
about
shit,
what she
Think
wants
so?
to watch on
yeah,
Netflix.
exactly. You know,
Think so?
Or what guy, what simp
You
she
don't know
can
what nobody
call.
think behind doors. She
Well,
could be crying behind doors.
Right,
so
but what
technically
but
not
what
true.
I've
the-
seen,
yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
just absolutely right. Not a mind reader. But when you gather information over years and you get surprised, so you remember responses, most people have no clue what they did. So
'Cause they're
you were
drinking
mad
alcohol.
at a
They're
girl,
alcoholics.
you know, in at work 10 years ago, right? And you know exactly what she said, how she offended you, where you were disrespected, and why you smacked the shit out of her, right?
What
Guess
did
what
you
she
say?
doesn't know? Any of those things, but she got smacked.
Mhm.
And guess what she's been for the last 10 years? A victim. Oh,
Yep.
I was in school minding my business,
Right.
and all I did was ask a question,
Yeah.
and she just resorted to violence. I don't know why. So that's where subliminally
Yeah.
people do not review their behavior
Yep.
during the day in the evening time. They go home and justify it.
It takes a lot
And
of
I'm not a psychologist. I can't
self-reflection.
prove that.
Yeah.
But when's the last person someone
One
called
way-
you the next day and was like, you know, what I said was wrong. I apologize for that. We don't even do that as a
I
society.
do. I don't
Yeah.
know.
One
I
of-
know.
And that's why you
One
think
way
that.
you can
People don't-
prove that they had no self-reflection is because these people are all repeat offenders.
Mm.
It's not the only
Good point.
time they made a fool of themselves. It's not the only time they did something stupid.
Right.
The fact that they keep repeating it again and again and again, and you're just like, did I
'Cause
hit
they start
replay
liking
or something?
attention. They
Yeah,
start
but
liking
it can also
attention.
be
Well,
act.
sometimes they don't
Yeah.
even know what they did was wrong.
Yeah.
Right? They leave the situation thinking it was everybody else's fault. Right? If I wouldn't have done this if they didn't do that. It's not. Even if they started the altercation or whatever happened, it's always, well, they looked at me a certain way, or they said this and it made me feel this type of way. One of my least favorite terms is, I felt that type of way. What the
Mm.
hell does that mean? How did you feel?
I
Why
like
did you
you.
feel that way? Right?
Listen,
Because whenever I hear that statement, what I understand is you don't even know what you just
You
felt.
feel hurt. That's basically
Well,
what it is.
you felt hurt, but it's such an unprecise thing to say
Yeah.
that now you can't even self-reflect on it because you don't even know
Right.
what it is. I
Right.
felt some type of way. What type of way?
Right.
and I'm guilty of that.
Because people
I'm
can't
very guilty.
unpack their feelings.
Everybody.
I'm very guilty.
They throw that, they feel uncomfortable,
Mhm.
right? Someone rattled them, and then a slang term rescues them. Oh, I felt some type of way. And they never have to unpack what
Yeah,
that feeling
because
is.
Another thing too is some people feel some type of way when you say something to them,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what if that feeling you felt was actually shame?
Hmm.
And that shame
Because
was
that's
trying to
typically
get you.
what it is. It's
Yeah. What if
You're
that
so
is trying to
embarrassed
get
to say
Right,
it.
to a
right.
way to fix whatever situation you had?
Right.
Because shame is a sign of self-reflection, accountability. You
Which
can't
is
be
kryptonite
accountable
to
if you
these.
have no
I
shame.
won't say
But
it.
today we tell everybody, not just women, but men too, be proud of who you are. No matter what, you're the best who you can be. Nobody is like you. And it's just like, you're probably just a peon. You're like everybody else, right? Now you can make yourself special, right? But you're not special from day one,
Right.
right? China has 1 billion people. India has 1 billion people.
Yeah.
US has around 300 million. You ain't special. There's 7 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
You're one. Now, can you become a Michael Jackson? Right? Everybody knows you as king of pop or something. Yes, you can. People remember your names for generations.
But while you're working
But-
at Wendy's, you're not that person.
Exactly. So, but the problem is we have people working at Wendy's who are just like, man, I don't want to work here. I'm not getting paid what I'm worth. It's like, what are you worth?
Facts.
Like if you gain skills and you become good at something, then you could say you're worth something.
Right.
Right? But again, with the lack of accountability, when you don't hold yourself into any kind of standard, right? When you just think you're the best just because mom said I'm the best when I was a kid, right? And I took this cool ball to my show and tell and everybody laughed and clapped their
Not the
hands.
show and tell.
So now you take that level of ego
Right.
for the rest of your life, but that's not what it's for,
Right.
right? You should always strive to become a better version of yourself. And when you stop doing that, you stagnate and you die, just like
Facts.
everything else.
Facts.
Right? And you could be a walking corpse, but when someone tells you your eyes are looking dead, you got to do something.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask this real quick, and Tiffany, I got this to you. Do you feel that men treat women differently because of their lack of accountability?
No, I mean, obviously, no. If you saying that we don't take accountability.
Well, no, because
like, what do you mean?
well, what I mean is because like if when we say accountability, and I guess for me,
Mm-hmm.
some of the strongest women that I've known in my life personally
Mm-hmm.
were accountable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
If they fucked up,
Yeah.
I fucked up. I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
Yeah.
And it showed us almost like a sign of strength.
Mm-hmm.
You know, actually, one of those women are sitting right next to me. But it shows a sign of strength. So it's like almost it to some certain men, it can be a little bit of you
Like
could
a
be
deterrent. Right?
yeah, it could be like,
Yeah.
oh nah, I can't mess with her. Like
Yeah,
she
she's too
she shoot
independent, she's too
she shoots straight
strong-willed.
forward with
Yeah.
it. But if it's somebody that that they
That's
and
just
it's funny again because she posted a meme
Mhm.
that said if like you can if you're saying that this is the way I am,
Okay.
like that you know what I mean?
Like,
That's
take me
BS.
as I am.
That's what Jose said.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just
Take me as
stagnant
I
and
am.
dead.
Because
Yeah.
Can I virtually high five you? Because not to
Okay,
Not
before
to-
you high-five me,
Okay.
high-five that man over there, because that is the reason why I
Nice.
accept accountability.
shout out.
now.
What the cameras
that's-
can't see it. The cameras can't see it.
Thank you
Shout
for
out
your
to my
man.
man.
Yes.
But
listen,
her better
but-
have Corey. I want to shout him out because that's
Nice.
a good brother, man. Like,
But that sentiment
Yep.
is so critical.
Yeah.
My mother taught me that at 13, right? Because most people walk around like, this is just the way I am. And my mother was like, oh, really? So this is who you're going to be. So you're 13 and this is it.
Yeah.
This is who you are. And it resonated.
Mhm.
And to this day, when I coach people,
Mhm.
I use her as an example
Mhm.
because people they get confused between accept me for me
Mm-hmm.
and I don't need to grow anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And that post is important.
But that's also because people are afraid of change.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
terrified.
Bingo.
People are afraid of change. You're only comfortable because
You're
of
familiar.
the attention that you're getting.
Yeah.
But that also falls into seeking validation.
Yep.
Yeah.
But society keeps people comfortable. Which person said it about the people that hate behind the scenes, but then they go and like, slay girl. Was that you?
Yeah.
That was
Right?
good.
So society keeps you stagnant because you're looking at your comments and it's like, oh man, I'm great.
But it's also you reflecting.
Because no one
your
wants to tell you the
insecurities.
truth.
Mhm.
And no one wants to tell you the truth. And that's like full circle when I keep going about
Exactly.
society keeps women unaccountable because society and simps protect them
Yeah.
from looking in the mirror.
And the thing, and the only thing we really create through social media when all those people do that is you're just creating more and more narcissists,
Mhm.
right? And then, this is slightly off topic, but kind of related. When you don't monitor your children when they use the internet and they're on Instagram and Snapchat or whatever, posting pictures of themselves, looking for this validation from all these
Yeah.
random people, not only are you exposing them to pedophiles, but you're also turning them into a narcissist from a young
Yeah.
age, right? And they're already raising your children with TikTok and everything like that. You can't even, you're not watching them to see what they see. So not only are they probably going to become a victim, right, of someone else, they're also going to become a victim of their own ego,
Hmm.
right? So it becomes a whole big issue. It's not like society, if we want to speak specifically to society, the government itself has lots of laws that are just in favor of women, right? And for example, most DV cases, domestic violence, if a woman says you did something, you're going to jail, right? And men can't really fight that, but whatever. The problem is that's society making that mistake, right? And it creates situations where a lot of false allegations happen, right? Just because they want the man to get out of the house and everything like that. But who's going to teach the women that? It's a useful tool, right? And a useful tool is a lot of things that they have, right? Why would you be accountable when you have all these useful tools you have? When you have to give up something that works to your benefit, why would you?
Right.
Right? Like these are all useful to you. You can take advantage of simps online because they'll give you money because you showed your feet.
It's true. It's true.
Sure, a lot more than feet though.
No, but the feet are just as popular.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There's a lot of creeps out.
But you know what? Say
Just saying.
say a minute ago you shouted out your better half. But let me ask you, do you feel that I gotta read this question because I almost forgot it. But oh, that's it. Yeah. Do you think that the lack of accountability for women impedes their own progress in yesterday's, today's, and tomorrow's society?
Absolutely.
And you're in the education field, like you teach 6th, 7th, 8th grade, so you see where Jose was just saying with that generation, how the internet as well as the internet basically how it turns into narcissists and stuff. Can you speak
Mommy
on?
and daddy issues are more evident now than ever before.
Definitely.
And it's unfortunate that you can see it in the kids.
Yeah.
Like it grinds my gears that these parents are more focused and vicariously living through their children than actually allowing them to be children.
Exactly.
Like I'll argue with my students. Little girls come in with lashes and
Lace fronts.
lace fronts,
Kills me.
32-inch wigs.
Kills me.
Yeah.
Yes. Lace fronts.
And the mother looked the
lashes.
same.
Yeah.
But the little girl, you ask her what her name is, she tell you 3, and now you wondering why.
do you mind if I ask you,
Listen.
does your school have a uniform?
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
A lot of schools that don't have uniform, I think they breed the worst possible children because in the middle school I went to, I remember, a lot of we had uniform for the first 6 months of school. Then because some people were uncomfortable with that, some parents were complaining, we can't afford the uniform. One uniform is $20. Stop complaining.
But you're complaining.
That's happening.
Versace
What ended up
jeans.
happening? Out of my graduating class in middle school, I remember, this is not even high school, this is middle school, 12 of the girls in my class were pregnant before high school.
Oh, that was clear
Right?
abortion. I mean, what is it, clear abortion?
Wait, were they yours?
No. But it's this kind of issue occurs more often, because the internet has no issue sexualizing children, right? Despite all the laws and everything that says it's wrong, when the little girl posts or a little boy posts something of themselves online, it goes to all the perverts all over the world, right? And then you have these people in schools. I knew one girl, she's 14 years old. She was dating a guy who's 22. And it was mind-boggling to me because I knew the girl. We lived in the same block, and I didn't know the guy. He used to drive to the school, middle school, to pick up his girlfriend. And they would disappear, until for the next weekend or so. And it was just, what the hell is going on? Where are her parents?
Yeah, where were her parents?
And we asked these questions, but it's just like, how did they meet? I remember talking to her because my cousin actually had a crush on her. So we were talking to her, and we were like, how did you even meet this guy? Oh, I met him on Snapchat.
What?
You met a guy and you started
That is
dating him and messaging him
insane.
on Snapchat. What were you sending him on Snapchat? Because that's for pictures, right?
My son is
Well, you were sending
12.
him pictures of him.
My son is
A
12,
grown
going on 13. He still ain't on social media.
That's a great
No,
idea.
Exactly.
He still ain't. He still ain't. And it's-
If-
like I was just telling everybody about a few weeks ago. He's telling me that he tried to holler at a girl, and remember 12 going on 13, and the girl tells him that coincidentally likes him, tells him, or doesn't tell him rather that she has a girlfriend. So that was shock number 1. Shock number 2 is the little girl's girlfriend chases him around the school because her girlfriend likes him. And I'm like,
And he's a 12-year-old.
and he's a 12 going 13-year-old.
These are little
so
kids.
it's like
This
bad.
is sad.
it's
It's
crazy.
sad.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But listen, guys, we're starting to run a little short on time, so I'm gonna cut down some of these other questions that I have
Sure,
for you
no problem.
guys. But how do you think society can get women to be more accountable?
Oof.
No
That's a
more
big
yes,
ask.
queen.
Right.
I feel that men
Need to start being honest.
start being honest, no matter how much it hurts. I have no friends, and I don't care because
Excuse me?
the ones that my
Excuse
man,
me?
female friends,
Okay.
right?
All right.
Because females love to come to you and ask your opinion
And don't listen.
until you give it, right? Until you give the raw, right? So forget about me personally. I'll answer that question so I don't take up too much time from everyone else. I would love to hear the answers from you guys. Men need to be honest, and they need to have better standards. If men see this is what most simps don't understand, right? Men, and please, it's not another conversation. This is just, please think about the nuances, not what I just say. Just blanketed what I say.
Yeah.
Men are the prize, right? And if you are a man and you have certain standards, women will fall in line. So most women believe the box is the prize and they have to listen. That's what society has told them for the last 4 generations. Women tell their daughters that men are stupid. There have been super many shows in the 80s, 90s about stupid husbands. It is propaganded throughout media and throughout our communities, right? But if men stepped up and set standards, I always use that as an example. You tell a woman, if you drink Coca-Cola, which no adult should be drinking, no person should be drinking, but definitely an adult, it's absolutely horrible for you. If you tell a woman, if you drink Coca-Cola, I'm not giving you no D. We're not dating. I'm not taking you to whatever, right? You're desirable, right? You're a desirable man.
Mhm.
I don't date women who drink Coca-Cola.
That's true.
If men as a whole did that, no woman on the planet would drink Coca-Cola because the D is valuable. Okay? The D is valuable. But see, you're an attractive woman and you've had men wrapped around your finger since you were 10,
Absolutely not.
right? So in your mind, you can't even visualize what it looks like to actually care what a man thinks. Because no man has probably introduced her to. And now I don't know, right? I'm just using you as like an example, right? Not your actual life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But women would be more accountable if men stepped up to the plate, set standards, and lived their lives without a woman. See, that's the caveat. The caveat is stop thinking with the little head. Go some months, some years with no box. As a whole, you do it by yourself. You're done. You right? It's you and some shea butter oil late at night, right? But as a whole, if there was a standard that women knew this guy's not going for that, or these type of men aren't going for that, it would change. But men have no discipline. I'm sorry, not men, because I have lots of discipline. Sims have no discipline.
Yeah, especially Sims.
Right?
But I do agree with that. You know, if you want to change the situation, you just have to have standards, right? And the most important part, you cannot compromise on those standards, right? There are certain values that every person should have, that they should come to in life. Some people find that religiously. Some people find that through experience as they get older. But once you come to a certain set of values, you can never compromise on those things, right? And that can't, obviously, it can't be every single little thing, you know, everything that peeves you off can't be your values. It has to be very set things, you know, that will apply for the rest of your life. And, you know, be it religiously or whatever, you know, you need to find those values. And if you can hold to them, your partner should also be held to them as well. So,
Well, you know what?
just
Tiffany,
wanna
I was actually about to pass to you
Yeah, I
because out of everybody here, you are a married woman.
Yeah, but not further than that, I also think that it's about the friends that you keep, right?
Mhm.
So this is a hard concept for me to grasp because me and my friends hold each other accountable for everything.
good.
Like, all right, you did that. You know you shouldn't have did that. So, you know, like, you know, so I feel like your girlfriends, because we're under our girls' pictures all the time. Like, girl, you look good. You know,
right.
maybe, you know. But
Occasionally,
I'm
you gotta throw
big
in,
with
look like shit.
maybe no, but I'm big like that. Like maybe you shouldn't post that because
Mhm.
it doesn't look good, you know. But
Fact.
Now, what perspective is that from, though? Are you talking about like physically look good, or it's not a good look for
No,
you and your
just not a good look.
relationship, or
Like, if
a
you
good look
up
for your
there, if
reputation?
any of my girlfriends decided to throw up a twerking video with
calling
their
them.
kid planning, bitch, take
Mhm.
that shit down. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You are the MVP.
You know
and
what
that's
I'm saying?
rare.
That's
No, it's
me.
true.
Right.
And it's like, if you want to broadcast like your outfit, you know, you want to show off your outfit,
Mhm.
maybe you shouldn't post that one because,
Mhm,
you know, I'm here to tell you that, but that's
Right.
what all my friends and I
Yeah.
do, you know.
That doesn't exist anymore.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's the
That's
problem.
what
When we
it
were
is.
kids,
What?
you walk outside as a
Yeah.
guy, right?
Depends, though.
And your friends would be, bro, why would you come out the house like that?
Yeah.
Now,
I
it's
know.
like, oh my God, you don't understand my individuality.
Oh
and
my
people
God.
just
Feel
not talking to each
bad,
other.
you know?
Well, it depends too. Cause
Yeah.
like me, I'm a mentor, so I can't dress like I'll big way. Like, you know, I put pictures up like bathing suits and stuff like that because
Mhm.
I have a body. Like I get it and all that. But sometimes, you know, it's okay to wear a bathing suit. It's okay. Sometimes, you know, like this is look.
But it depends on your image, though. Like,
Yeah.
who,
Right.
who is your
No, but I'm just
audience.
professional
Audience.
in general. It's not even that. It's I have a personal page. I have a business
Yeah.
page.
Okay, so you
So I,
straight.
you know, I tell people like, if you know, I want you to be more on my business if you want to look
Right.
at my stuff. But if you want my personal, just listen.
Yeah.
You're gonna see me.
Right.
Don't-
So
But I don't OD and you know really put like
10
That's
seconds.
the important part.
profanity.
Right.
Because just to put in, you know,
provocative.
one of the frightening things for a kid is if your mother has an OnlyFans
Right.
or something, and you
Right.
go to school
Oh,
and
my
your
God.
friends
That's
show that
another
to you.
situation.
And it
Damn,
happens.
look, your mom is hot.
Yeah.
That is, you just gave your
Yeah.
child bullying for the rest of his life.
But that's
you
the
know.
They're in
irresponsibility and the
competition with their kids now,
unaccountability.
and they're in
And,
competition.
Well, say it.
I'm gonna take it. Give me one. I just want to take this back 1 second because you used yourself as an example. You use yourself as an example, and I have bad luck. I attract quality women, right? So this panel is very like mature and good, right? But if you were combative, I would say, I don't give a damn what you do. We're not discussing what you do because you're a quality individual. Or you know, you're not the standard for you were being combative. You're not the standard. But when we look at society as a whole, right, the masses, dude, literally unlimited amount of naked trash,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
And so to answer your question, at what point and what influence do men have to get rid of that? So that's a good example. I said Coca-Cola. I could give you a real life example. Dude, if you DM me and I pull up your page and I'm just scrolling selfies, I literally will not respond to you. I don't care how bad you are.
Yeah.
Because what you said before about narcissism,
Yep.
right? And then not understanding the difference between, you know, personal and professional and so like, dude, who wants to see that? So I'll stop there.
Yeah.
I'll
And-
cut you off.
No, but I want to kind of bring
Yeah.
this in because as you were saying, you was talking about the students, and I mean this is my educational like encyclopedia right here. So like and we got very little time left, but to jump off what he was saying, have you seen that in while teaching, where like there are parents that may be on OnlyFans or IG or whatever, but then you know the student starts like I seen your mom's up on IG, she was making it clap. You know what I mean? Yo, can I come to your house? Or,
Ironically, no.
Yeah.
Ironically, no.
I still think it's rare,
It
right?
is-
Because how would
it's-
you know the address?
It is rare, but it's increasing,
Yeah. I
which
can
is the
imagine.
problem,
Yeah.
right? And, you know, I'm seeing it online more, you know, where this is becoming more common. And that's the only reason why I brought it up, because before, you never really would have thought of that,
Yeah.
you know, but now it's being paraded as, you know, a woman making herself seem overly sexual and demeaning herself, which I think sometimes,
Right.
you know, by going on OnlyFans and stuff like that. You know, it's now brave, right? And if it's so brave, then why can't you tell your parents about it?
so
But-
I'm gonna give you guys like one last question because we just completely out of time, and
Yeah.
I'm juicing my dollar right now. But so I mean we're all in the same community, the black and Hispanic community. Well, us three, we're definitely black and Hispanic. But well, actually not us three, us 1, 2, 3. Well, neither here nor
So
there.
Colombian doesn't count as being Latino?
Yeah, well,
¿De qué tú hablas?
we're all in the same community, but how do you think that the lack of accountability and even today's entitlement for women, how does it affect the black community and Hispanic community as well? And let's try to do it 20 seconds, starting with say it.
Single parent homes.
The lack of
Jose?
fatherhood.
You know, I do agree with that. You know, I think it's it's even worse for the Black community because the Black community is also having, and Hispanic community, also has an issue with victimhood going on very often, with not taking accountability for themselves already. And then you add that on top of, women not being held accountable, you just doubled the issue, right? So it's just even worse.
Which again falls
Everybody want to
on.
play the victim. I
Sure.
feel like we're just too much in I'd say it's a selfish society right now, and that's where it's playing off at. And I think society has, social media has a lot to play with it. I think they need to shut it down, honestly, and it'll help.
Well, it's doing exactly what they wanted to do, but
Yeah.
that's another
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Tiff?
Yeah, it's increasing the enviness, the violence, crime. It's doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, stop taping your crimes. How dumb can some of these dudes do? You tape your crimes?
but bro,
You
more
that
people
stupid?
get more
Like-
people get airplay and get away with it than you would think.
Exactly.
So we see the ones that get caught, 2, 3, 7 people. Meanwhile, 700 people are
Got
earning.
away with it.
They got away with it, and they're getting props and maybe even money just from filming it. So,
Yeah.
anyways, that's a tangent. Word the question again, because I'm all over the place with
Oh, I'm
single
sorry. Well,
single parents. Because I could talk about that forever.
How does the lack of accountability as well as the today's entitlement for women, how does that affect the Black community
Got you.
and the Hispanic community as well?
Wait. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. I guess Colombian's not Spanish anymore. It's okay.
Got you.
So obviously we know how it affects us, destroying our children, right? Destroying our household. So talk more about, where does that start? And you made a great point earlier. It took all of my discipline not to piggyback on it, right? Because no one's combative, right? We're having a great discussion. But when women get combative about their victims, all you have to do is start throwing data at them.
Yep.
What is it, family court data? Percentage of who files divorce, who gets custody, who gets money, right? And so it is women who are destroying the household because they were sent by the system to destroy the household, right? And so if women would realize that and take themselves out of the picture, yeah, maybe you're not happy. Maybe your man's a cornball, whatever it is. But if you take the hit to keep your family together, just like most men, you think most men are happy with the same piece of box for 17 years? No one's happy. But that's what you signed up for.
And they did it
right?
for the children.
But women are taught, dude, I'm counseling 3 people right now, not counseling, but coaching 3 people right now for business, but I'm also doing marriage counseling because they're perfect men. They've done everything society told them to do. They're absolutely amazing fathers, and their wife is divorcing them because I just don't feel it anymore. And they're allowed to do that. But when a man walks away, it's, first of all, he's leaving his drawers because he's getting everything taken away from him. And 2, he's getting destroyed by society. You're a quitter. You're a poor dad.
You're a deadbeat.
You're a deadbeat. You're whatever, right? But women file divorce 91% of the time. Of the couples, 91%. That's a staggering statistic. And if they're educated, it's 98% of the time. Staggering statistic. So if we somehow can find...
Well, that have a lot to do with men cheating as well. So don't say that.
It's not often
So statistically speaking, that's absolutely incorrect.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incorrect.
Statistically, women do cheat more.
Listen, I'm a divorced woman, okay?
Okay, so that's personal.
That's personal.
I know a woman who's paying...
I did statistics.
I know a woman who's paying alimony. I know a woman who didn't get her kids. I know a woman who got cheated. I know all of that.
How did the women win the cases?
But statistically speaking...
How did they win the case?
First of all, women don't even leave because of infidelity. They leave because they just don't want to be married anymore.
Not true.
Okay. Have you read family court documents?
Yeah.
Okay, so give me some stats. Maybe I'm wrong. I can look it up later tonight.
From what I've heard and what I've seen.
Okay, I don't go by what I heard. I go by what I read. And family court data cannot be changed. It's not like I think that data point is off. You have 100 people, they go to family court, they register the data based on those 100 people. It's not like...
A lot of times it's most of the time because females lied in the past. So that's why now men are being more, they're giving them more, I guess you could say, fair play.
So here's a stat for you. Men who make over 6 figures, the divorce rate for them drops by 30%. So women aren't leaving when men cheat. That's one. 90% of the time, that's wrong. 61% of the time, when there's a divorce filed by a woman, it's because she has been unfaithful. I can never say the word. This is just data. I'm not saying you're wrong and whatever your situation is. I apologize. You know, I'm sorry that happened to you. But and this is part of where the unaccountability comes from. Women are accountable until it's something that affects them personally. So they could be, oh, the man's right A, the man's right B, the man's right C. Now he hits a nerve. Oh no, that's impossible.
And another thing too is, you know, you got to also understand when women cheat, they don't call it cheating. It's
the man's fault.
It's an accident. He wasn't there for me.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's always an excuse,
It's the other way around too.
right?
So,
All right, I'm gonna F the whole conversation up and make it even worse. I'm gonna mess it up. Make it even worse.
We gotta go.
Men,
Part 2.
men can't cheat. Let's start there.
I don't know about that.
Oh, you
Men
know what?
can't cheat.
You know what?
Thank you. Exactly. End of discussion.
We'll start the whole conversation there.
You better add another hour.
Let me
I said they
thank
can't.
all these guys for being in
They
the.
can express their options.
This is the first Rendezvous Suite.
It's the only society where they lie to men
Khalil gonna
and
keep
tell them
going.
the mean. I'm sorry, bro. I thought I was having a side conversation, but I forgot this right here.
But no, I want to thank all you guys. This is actually the very first Rendezvous Suite panel, and damn it, if I wasn't so broke, I would have won another hour, but it can't. So listen, guys, we got a lot more panels coming up. I want to thank the beautiful educator Saya, the handsome, the intelligent brother Jose, my gorgeous cousins Charlotte and Tiffany, and
You're welcome.
and my true big bro Khalil. They took the time when certain people canceled on me and stuff, but they
I waited an hour for that.
they showed up. They showed out. Guys, real quick, if you want to throw your IGs out there, and I put the emphasis on if.
Weren't
If
we
you wanna
just
throw your
talking
IG
about how social media is bad?
Yeah, but that don't. But some
Social media is horrible.
I'm holding
and
you
these girls out here, please DM me at.
some of us.
I can't stand these hoes. Please DM me at KhalilTheBrand.com.
Yeah.
Some
You'll
of
be
us
number
Wait, that's my
18.
website. Sorry,
number
at
18,
Khalil the Brand.
Well, listen, y'all can definitely DM me. Let me know what y'all felt about this panel. Rendezvous Suite, everything, TikTok, IG, Facebook, we everywhere. And again, I thank and love all y'all guys, man. I really
Wait.
appreciate the time.
Hold on. Well, I have a documentary coming out, Stepping Up in Fashion, and I want you guys to stay tuned.
That's dope.
Nice.
You definitely need to talk to Khalil. This got his own
That's dope.
clothing line and stuff too, man.
Well, yes.
Bro,
I'm a designer, graphic designer, creative
Nice.
designer. all
yeah.
that,
See?
so,
I would love to see your work.
The Rendezvous Suite, we bring it together, man. We bring it together.
We
but-
rendezvous.
Yeah.
Wait, was that too obvious?
In the suite.
Cut that one out.
A little bit, but yo, thank you guys,
suite.
man. And you know what? Keep watching, keep listening. Make sure you check out the Rendezvous Suite playlist, all our newest and hottest R&B. And you know, we gonna keep moving like we always done. You dig? I know you do.
Lord have mercy.